All right. Hello, drawing students. Today I'm just taking this quick video. I always fix my hair at the start of these, I didn't have a chance to do that before I started this video, but sorry about that. Anyway, today I am talking about your motif assignment, motif or sketchbook assignment, which you should have seen posted recently, or you should see posted soon if it's not there. Um, and basically it's an ongoing sketchbook assignment that um, you will do throughout the remainder of the semester. And yeah, I mean, we're opening up a little late in the semester, but this is our first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes, and yeah, go off of that. So let me go ahead and, in order to share this or talk about this, I'm going to just go ahead and go to our Canvas website, which I've already got the drawing two section pulled up. So let me take a look here. So yeah, it is already available for you here, or at least a part of it is. Okay, so the full motif assignment is going to be a series of smaller assignments, and the best way for me to talk about this is to go to our first assignment, which is motif selection, which I'll actually dig into what all of this is in a second. But before we get into the motif selection, let's talk about what a motif is and what the actual ongoing assignment is. So I'll do that by talking about this attachment here. Okay, so the motif or sketchbook assignment, it's going to be, like I said, an ongoing practice, an ongoing assignment for you to work on throughout the rest of the semester. And let's talk about what a motif is first. So a motif is defined as a distinctive feature or dominant idea in an artistic or literary composition or series of compositions or body of work, or however you want to refer to that. It's much like a theme. It can be specific imagery or a particular broad subject. You will use the concept that you choose as a motif, right? Or anybody who chooses a motif uses the concept to develop intensive research into a specific subject or motif for the rest of the semester. You will use this concept, yeah, particularly in this class, to develop your motif, and in general, artists use this motif to just do more intensive research, or motif idea to develop more intensive research. In any case, yeah, throughout the remainder of the semester, you will be drawing your chosen motif over and over again until you have developed a deeper understanding of it and a growing empathy with it. So basically, you're going to choose a motif and you're going to draw it over and over again until you more deeply understand it and have this growing sense of connection to it, or identifying with it, because you've drawn it and observed it so intensely. So once you choose the motif, it cannot be changed. Just to be sure I'm clear about that. But your intense and repetitive study of it will inevitably change the way you perceive and represent it. So the methods, the techniques that you use can be very broad. It's just the subject that can't change, and the way you look at it, the way you portray it can change, but the subject has to stay the same. Now, one thing I will say here, I'm kind of sharing this assignment because it's going to be something I implement for both drawing one and drawing two in my semesters, and there is a little bit of a difference. In drawing one, students must draw from life, meaning that they have to observe things that are in front of them. It's part of the requirement for me because drawing one is so particularly focused on observing and recreating the world as we see it. You will not draw from your head or any other drawing. In drawing one, you must draw from life in this motif assignment. However, drawing two is this is really the only difference between drawing one and drawing two as far as a motif assignment, besides numbers possibly. But drawing two, you have more creative liberty, but it must be clearly communicated with me and approved by me. So basically, what that means is, if you want to step outside the bounds of drawing things that are directly in front of you, I'm open to it. I don't particularly know where to go with that, but I just thought it was something to add to my drawing two classes as a possibility. Basically, because I know there are so many students now working on original content, original characters, OCs, that I feel like I have to open it up a little bit in the second portion. Now, those studies of original content need to be built on the skills that you learn in drawing one and drawing two based on how you observe life. I'm still going to assess your sketches based on your observational skill, your drawing skills that you've learned. but I'm just like I said, for drawing too, I'm more open to original content, and I don't know, just for illustrators, I feel like this may be important, and but it's just important to know, like even the guys who drew The Simpsons or Beavis and Butthead and all that, they studied figure drawing a lot. They understood how to draw life, and then they changed it kind of intentionally. So I want you to really think about your skills as you have them, and then build on that rather than it's not just an excuse to draw whatever you want, right? And it still needs to be focused on a motif. So anyway, let me bring it back in. You should make your motif something that you care about and can see yourself staying passionate with. So even if it is original content, OCs, original characters, I don't necessarily want it to just be this broad swath of all different subjects. I want it to be a particular subject within that or that content arena that you want to work in. Again, this is why I want you to send me a message if you're thinking of original content. Send me a message particularly, or I guess actually when you do your motif selection, I'll let you know if it's a little too outside the bounds, which we'll get to motif selection later. But yeah, maybe that's the place to for me to give you feedback on that. In any case, I also suggest you make sure that it is something creatively viable, something that can keep you sustained and passionate throughout the semester. And again, it needs to be fairly specific. But some examples, and these are largely based on examples that you would draw from in real life or observational drawing. But again, you can kind of base your original content motif on this. Again, it needs to be specific. So in any case, some potential observational subjects could be your pet, animals that live around your house, trees or plants. And when it comes to like things like trees, you know, it could be as specific as the cedar tree in your front yard, or it could be as broad as any tree, or a broad swath of a particular species of tree, whatever. Could be tools, could be pine cones, could be flowers, your car, your bike, stuff you keep in the junk drawer or your backpack, snack foods, what you eat in a given day, people's shoes, your one pair of shoes that you wear throughout the semester. You can show the change of it as you wear them. It can be your house, can be your bedroom. Actually, the whole one single tree kind of thing, that could go really well with like a Monet style, like especially because right now most of the trees are, like I'm filming this, the trees are, it's wintertime, so they're largely leafless, but throughout the semester, students working this semester could have a chance to, you know, draw it as it develops leaves, and then by the end of the semester it's already going to be summer and the tree's going to be dying again because it's so hot. So there's lots of like study that could go on there. You could draw your bedroom, the park every day, every Tuesday and Friday at 2:30, the kitchen sink, right? For that saying, whatever your better ideas, whatever, how any of those ideas that could relate to your original content, you know, you if you're in drawing too, you could work in this way. But in any case, once you choose your subject, you will draw the motif 20 times in your sketchbook by the end of the semester. I do want to say no more than twice per page, and that is with a 9 by 12 sketchbook. I'd really prefer you draw it only one per page if you're working with the 5 by 8 sketchbook or 5 by 9. Yeah, or 6 by 9, I think is what they call the little half size. That should be only one per page. But largely, I want developed sketches. I don't want thumbnails. That's the main thing. So I don't want you to just draw 20 little quick doodles in one page in your sketchbook and say, oh, I did the motif assignment. No, that's not how it's going to work. You need to draw fully bigger and developed, actually, is the more important thing. It's more important than size, but it's going to be in your sketchbook. You don't have to draw real big or anything. But in any case, the drawing can be whatever material or technique you wish to draw with, which, remember, that means if you use wet material, make sure your sketchbook can handle it. You may incorporate media that we haven't even covered in class. If you want to do gouache or something like that, acrylic markers, I don't know. But the main thing is that you keep developing your motif. You stay focused on your motif. And now this is the motif selection, which this was posted a couple days ago, so it's particular to you guys. I'm giving up on recording this video like it's going to be used in multiple semesters. Basically, by the end of this week that I'm posting this, drawing 2 students should have their motif selected for my online class. And yeah, in the motif selection, I'm going to go over it again, but just to make sure we cover it, it is on Canvas. It's due at the end of the week. Review that due date there. You will need to answer these questions in deciding your motif. What is your motif? Why is this your motif? And how will you use it? What are some creative variations that you can come up with right off the top of your head? Because if you can't come up with many, I don't know if that's like a great way to do it. Now, it doesn't have to be super broad. If you're content just drawing the same thing over and over again so you get really good at it, whatever. But I need you to tell me how you're going to do that, how you're going to remain creatively involved. But I would start drawing as soon as you choose your motif. Then this whole process, just so you know, it is meant to help you develop a consistent drawing practice through a protracted and focused study. So you're going to get better because you're focusing on what you're practicing. You're going to get better because you do that for a long time, and you're going to, in doing this, develop good practices. And so you make yourself continue beyond this class, hopefully, to get better at sketching and drawing. If you wait until the due dates and rush at the last minute, it sort of defeats the purpose, right? If you really blow this off and do it the last minute. Look for all this on Canvas, and there will be 2 more follow-ups. The 5 to 10 motif sketches complete by the end of week 8, although that may end up being more like week 9 after spring break, just because this is so last minute. But 5 to 10, so 5 to halfway done, turned in on Canvas, should be reviewed. And then the 20 final motifs, obviously in an online class, this won't be checked in class, but they should be done by the week before finals, the finished 20 motif sketches. And honestly, guys, 20 is pretty mild. When I was at UNT, we did 50. When I was in school, like at Hardin-Simmons, so we did 50. I did a sculpture class that did 100, in a semester. So 20, even with only about 10 weeks left, ought to be pretty easy to knock out. So in any case, let me just go ahead and make sure I set all this accurately too. And you can see it all in the assignment for your motif selection. Yeah, it pretty much just repeats it. Draw one thing throughout the remainder of the semester. It will, you'll have to do 20 drawings at least in your sketchbook, various due dates. Read all of the attachment, which we already did just now, but if you need to go remind yourself, do that. This assignment is not great. I'll probably also embed this video here at some point. But yeah, the assignment is not graded, but it is for you to communicate. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, on the motif selection, it is not graded, but I really need you to do it because you can't really complete the assignment if you don't communicate with me what you're doing. And if you don't communicate with me because you're going to change it all the time, that's not doing the assignment right either. So to do the assignment properly, you have to tell me what you're doing. So even though it's ungraded, it's going to be mandatory. You're going to need to do it. And then I just reemphasize the questions. What's your motif? Why is it your motif? And how do you plan to draw it? Answer them in the text entry box for this assignment, which is due February 24th, Friday of this week. So you have a few days to select it. It'll be your jumping off point for starting this assignment outside of class, which I would do as soon as you can. Oh, I'm just repeating this here. It's meant to help you develop a consistent drawing practice throughout a protracted and focused study. Blah, blah, blah. Don't rush to the last minute. Defeats the purpose. Okay. That's really all there is to the motif assignment. Check it out. I'll get this posted probably in various places. This is kind of one of those things I'm not sure exactly where to put because there's multiple assignments. I'll find a place for it on Pages and probably put an announcement. But in any case, I hope this was helpful. And let me know if you have any questions about the motif assignment.